First of all, thank you for accepting my presentation, my proposal. I have to say that the last time when I submitted my the proposal, it was by October last year, October more or less. So now we are in January, at the end of January, and there are new changes, and we are in the third wave here in Spain. So probably you will see some slight changes from the description of the proposal, but it is still the spirit of the proposal is the same. So I will explain what is Casa Batlló, what is the reimagination that we had to implement, and what are the new potential scenarios, and what we are doing to be better prepared for these new scenarios. There are some internal and external elements, but I will share what are the main scenarios that I can say that are under control. So my name is Amilcar Vargas. I'm the responsible of World Heritage, and I'm a former BTU research PhD candidate. Well, I'm finishing the PhD in the University of Barcelona. So I'm trying to do this bridge between academic way of understanding and life, and the field work, real field work, to manage this World Heritage property. Casa Batlló is located in the city of Barcelona, next to the Mediterranean, northeast of Spain. And this is the map of the property and its location. And as you can see in the corner, just at the bottom in your left screen, it's a very urbanized area, and that is one of the smallest Gaudí's property. And I hope this video has the sound. Just let me know if it works. Well, as you saw, Casa Batlló is the experience of Casa Batlló. We try to express as an itinerary in a very imaginative house. Please have in mind all this imaginary, all this narrative, all this storytelling, because it has to be adapted, but trying to keep the spirit of the place. Casa Batlló was inspired in 2000 of the work of Antoni Gaudí, World Heritage Site, based on 3 criteria of outstanding universal value. Casa Batlló is a Catalan modernist style house built by architect Antoni Gaudí between 1904 and 06, and it's a private house managed by its owners, a local family. So it's when we talk about local engagement and local people, that they should be the responsibles, or they could participate in the decision making. So the owners of the building, which is a local Barcelona family, to buy a property like this, you have to be a wealthy family, but they are local people and they have the right to manage it because the Spanish law for heritage allows them. So they manage their own house. I just wanted to do this very brief introduction because the important thing of the core part is the reimagination and the new scenarios. And I will move forward for the reimagination. One of the things that we had to reimagine during this year, this 2020, was new traditions that we developed, like the celebration of St. George, that we started in 2016, decorating the balconies with these huge roses, but that we had to reinvent and to reimagine in 2019 under the restoration that we conducted from 2018 to 2020, and we had to cover this facade with the image of the balconies with the roses. But then we had to reimagine this tradition again in 2020, and we did it doing with a call to action addressed to local people. So we were in April, St. George's Day is on 23rd of April, so we were in the middle of the pandemic, of the lockdown. So we wanted that people were able to celebrate. We invited them to celebrate St. George, decorating themselves in their balconies with roses instead of us. It was very viral on social media and local communication channels, and we received a spontaneous support from influencers. But also we use this as an opportunity to do an action with an NGO, in this case, the Red Cross, for a solidarity action. And we did this call with this video. It's a 1 minute video.
How can we be left without St. George's Day if we have more love than ever? If we take care of each other, even from a distance. If we sing, clap, and help one another. If we forgot our differences, only to remember we're equal. If we read more books than in our whole life. If we would give everything for a kiss. How can we be left without St. George's Day if we have more love than ever?
The feedback that we received from people was really, really outstanding. So this was our thank you video, and also we had to reinvent some of our. So we had to reimagine how could we still offer our cultural activities, to engage people, to engage audiences, to follow, to make them read. How can I say? To pass those challenging moments. Now that I look this almost 1 year later, I can probably more understand what was the feeling in the houses, in the families. So it shocked me, right? That all the potential benefit that we were able to achieve in a very short time. So we also increase our presence in YouTube. We're doing online visits in Instagram. We're celebrating the International Yoga Day and other yoga sessions. The synergy with the Red Cross, and also doing other kind of streaming. So there were things that were common at that time, and they lasted for some months before the reopening. And the reopening had to be also a good news, and this is how we implemented the measures on the 1st of July for reopening the house, and also to reimagine the visit and to reimagine how can we engage with the people, and also to gain their confidence of visiting a safe place.
We have always loved surprising the world. But this time, the world surprised us. How should we respond to this unique challenge? The answer was to innovate every step of the way. Reinventing our visitor experience
So to adapt to the new reality was not an easy thing, but we wanted to keep this spirit and also to show the world that we were open again and that we wanted them to come back.
Finally, the day has come. And even though the summer will be, we'll be able to spend it together. Casa Batlló reopens its doors. So you and yours enjoy as never before the genius of Gaudi. We're back with innovative hygiene measures. A visit also designed for the youngest children. Easier than ever. This year, we're counting on you to celebrate that art and beauty still draw inspiration. Discover what we have prepared for you at casabatlló.es.
So if you remember the previous video, the first one that I shared with you, so this imaginary of this blonde woman visiting the house with no mask, but with a monster inside. So all this idyllic place now has been reimagined to an idyllic place, but with face masks, with hygienic measures, and so on and so forth. So we wanted to keep the spirit of this place, but also to demonstrate that we have adapted and reimagined this lovely experience. But not everything is perfect in the world, and some bad news were about to come.
Nos encontramos en el salón central de la planta principal de la Casa Batlló, un sitio patrimonio mundial desde 2005, construido por Antonio Gaudí entre 1904 y 1906. El pasado 24 de octubre del
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Well, that's not fault of YouTube. That's fault of probably my own computer.
mundial desde 2005, construido por Antonio Gaudí entre 1904 y 1906. El pasado 24 de octubre del
Well, I don't know what happened. This was a video just to show that in the October 24th, Casa Batlló suffered an attack from the outside. Some protesters or an anonymous person or people, they throw a stone for damaging the house. They broke part of the stained glasses of the facade. And then based on that context, and also we were at that time on the second wave, we decided to close the house again. So since that time, we closed Casa Batlló, and during several weeks, this was our webpage. And so we decided to close. The situation was not the best at that time. So, and we were preparing the reopening that I will talk to you about in this section, which are the potential scenarios. So this is like the third episode, the pre-COVID, the during COVID, and now this is the post-COVID, which is this post is very, very large. It's not like just one day you wake up and there is no more COVID, of course not. So our potential scenarios, and with this I will finish my presentation, are based on these three pillars: protection, management, and sustainability. Protection. For this area, we have, after this attack from the outside, which came from the buffer zone, we are doing an improvement of a buffer zone and its regulation, and also we are engaging with a wider range of stakeholders. So this is an opportunity to talk with local authorities in a wide range, but also with our neighbors and etc. And also, we want to strengthen the awareness raising measures through education. And we are developing a project that is called Casa Batlló Academy, which includes all the educational activities and services. So we want to make them aware why we are important, what Casa Batlló is important and why it should be preserved in order to avoid any thought of intentional destruction of this property. And last but not least, also for improving this protection, this scenario that we are preparing for includes international exchange of experiences of best and amendable practices. Not all are the best practices. I don't want to call them worst practices. You don't apply them in order to be bad experiences, but something can learn of those things that didn't work very good. And then regarding the management, there are 4 things that I have to mention. A completely new narrative of the house. We are preparing now a new narrative with a new storytelling, with new devices for our reopening, expected to be done after the 3rd wave. And then we are developing our new management plan, which was stopped this last year. This new plan will include all these new measures and all the experience of 2020. Of course, we have to adapt to these evolving policies for visiting and management, and paying special attention to local and national visitors, which are more than ever very important. And last but not least, our 3rd pillar, the sustainability. This is the last, any new scenario. It doesn't matter if you have 1 million visitors that we used to have in the past, or half of them, or no visitor. It has to be a sustainable scenario. We can do to think in a sustainable way of mind, because if you want to apply something, you have to be sure that it can be sustained during the time. That's why the implementation of the Sustainable Development Goals that we started 3 years ago will keep going, and we will focus on local challenges with tangible impact, and to search for external certification and accolades. So we don't want to say that we want to implement or we are implementing very well the SDGs. We want external supervisors, they can take it. Last but not least, again, to improve the internal policies and partnerships to achieve this sustainability pillar. And the last video that I expect it can summarize what I have said is the past, present, and hopefully future of this house.
Welcome to Barcelona. Welcome to Casa Batlló, the house that belongs to us all, and to the creative architecture of a genius without limits. We currently offer an immersive cultural visit with an augmented reality video guide, available in 11 languages, to travel back in time and discover the myths and legends surrounding Gaudi's architecture. In 2018, we received over 1 million visitors, and we are continually growing and evolving. 2019 and 2020 will mark a major change for us. That is why we have undergone a restoration process that has been a real challenge. We decided that it was a unique moment that we wanted to openly share with the world. Despite the strategy and all of our efforts, we knew that there remained a slight possibility that we could disappoint. Out of 200,000 visitors, only 1% requested a refund on their ticket. The Explore the Restoration campaign has provided us with an innovative So, to work under a single motto, our visitors take center stage.
With that said, thank you very much for your time and apologize for any technical problem that we could have had.
Amazing. Thank you so much. We were going to give you a few extra more minutes for some questions, if that's okay with you, since the next period's a break. So we figured there's lots of people in here, so let's try and answer. We did have a practical question from Rachel, who was just curious, what's the maximum number of people that can enter the museum right now with current restrictions?
Currently, there is a maximum limit of at the same time, of about 900 visitors, but we will doubt that we can fill this amount of visitors at the same time. So we are prepared for a maximum capacity of 800. So at the same time, that's the number of devices that we have. So that's one of the ways that we control these numbers of visitors.
Sure. Yeah, that still seems quite impressive. It seems, yeah, you guys are busy. Something that I really appreciate and also came up in the comments is the transparency that as an organization that you all seem to have with, I think, the restoration process, inviting the visitors to be a part of that, but also during COVID of just being quite transparent about what you're doing for safety. Is that kind of something that's been within the organization for a while? Do you think also with COVID that's made you see transparency as a strength, or is that something that's existed before?
Well, we have applied this kind of transparency since before COVID, but I think this transparency was enhanced during and after the COVID because we wanted to share with people what we are doing. So and also it's this transparency is also to have their confidence, and we show them how we were doing the restoration, and we invited how can I say, we were not able to close, restore, and then reopen because we depend 100% from the visitors' income. So we are not a public institution, so we don't have public funds. So people with the payment of their fees, the entrance fees, they are funding actually the restoration. So for us, it was a kind of immediate reciprocity. So you pay for this, so you watch it, and that's why it happened during during the months on the restoration, and also during the streamings that we did. We were also very transparent. So we showed some part of the not very visible part of the house, and we were open to receive questions online. So you could probably have any unexpected question, and we were able to answer them. It is true that as a private institutions, we don't have the obligations to share absolutely all our information. There are also confidential information, but there are many of this information even we share with other sites managers. So we invited people after the reopening. We invited sites managers from other Gaudi buildings and other museums in Barcelona to show them how all these measures works. And actually, we also even developed a PDF of 11 pages with even the name of the suppliers that they can contact for having this technology.
That's quite extensive. It's amazing. Maybe to wrap up, for one last question and thought, is I guess the takeaways from reimagining as an organization. you know, you mentioned the need for sustainability and that mindset moving forward. Do you think that these practices, whether it's transparency or other things that you've modified, are helping with that overall goal? Do you think, I don't know, is there any, I don't want to make light of the situation, because obviously COVID has been incredibly painful and intense for you know, individuals, communities, organizations, but has it forced your organization to think about things that are going to help the organization in the future?
Yes, we have been thinking on this transparency and new way of engaging with these audiences. We have, as I showed in the last video, this new visit with these new devices and this new technology will also keep the spirit of the place, and it would also full of transparency. And we want to show to the world what are the amazing contemporary artists and architects and designers that are participating in this new visit. And to do so, we have calendar of awards and prizes and accolades that we want to win. And when you want to win that, you have to say, we participated with this and this and this designer, architect, so artists. So all these people, they deserve to be visible, and we want to make them visible. And this transparency part of the story, it will continue. Of course, when people visit the Casa Batlló, they don't expect they don't come to see how we manage the site. They want to visit this Gaudi property, and they want to fall in love in this outstanding architecture. But for some prescriptors, we prepare this transparency information, and we share with them what we know and what we do.
Wonderful. Well, I think from all of us here, thank you so much for the presentation and insights. It was really interesting to see, like, such a case site specific example, and what you've done and adapted. And obviously we are hoping for the best, that you know, you're able to come up with more reimaginative programming for the site. But thank you so much. And please, if there's any direct questions from, you know, put them in the chat, reach out directly. But we'll also have this session available online later. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much, and have a nice day. Stay safe.
Yes, thank you. You too. Oh, and I should mention, we have a short break for right now, but the next sessions are going to start in about 10 more minutes. So, and the schedule will have all the up-to-date information. So thanks, and see you online.